What's up, everybody? This is Bunny and Bumblebee Talks. I'm Bumblebee.
And I'm Bunny, and this is podcast 19. The first topic, I think we called it insecurity displacement, like trying to give it like a name for a disorder. Because I remember talking about it. It just looked weird looking at it after all this time.
Yeah, I think it's kind of something we kind of came up with.
Well, based on what the topic of the conversation was.
Yeah. Basically, it's projecting your insecurities onto other people. When you should be focused on them yourself, you are. It's like
I think you got to give an example because people might not know what you mean by
so.
that.
If I feel like I'm ugly, right? Instead of owning up to the fact that I feel like I'm ugly,
Which nobody would, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, I do. But anyway.
No, but compared to like Psycho.
Yeah.
Like,
there's some people who don't feel they are, but they are, and it's okay to be ugly.
That's usually what ugly people do.
But yeah, so, or I'm a big dude, like I'm fat, right? And I'm insecure about my weight. But instead of being,
no, I'm big.
Yeah. No, not even I'm big. I'm gonna call you fat and make you feel bad about your weight.
Wait, did I say he called me fat?
No, but
I thought you were trying to use an example of something we talked about with.
No. It's just an example of displacing your insecurity. You project it on somebody else. It goes with a lot of things. It's toxic behavior. It's not cool,
I'm trying to remember. What were some of the things that I said that he did that you were like, oh, yeah, that's what an insecure person would do?
A lot of the insecurities he had were, the time that somebody yelled at Amanda when y'all went to that bar.
But okay, to get back into that story, we were supposed to go out to see the Mayweather-McGregor fight. But what happened was, which I feel like I wasn't wrong for this. I feel like any logical person would do this. We talked about going out, right? And he never followed up with me, like if he got tickets somewhere to like go to a bar, like if he had plans on like what we were doing, if we were in the house, just chilling, drinking, whatever. He just was like, oh yeah, if that's something you're interested in, and he never followed up with me about it. And then I had some friends hit me up talking about going to New York. So he never hit me up. Mind you, it's the day of the fight. Now, the fight didn't happen yet, but it's the day of the fight. I'm not telepathic. So why would I assume that you got something set up for us to go somewhere? You never told me nothing. Then he hits me with this stupid ass response like, oh, I don't gotta tell you. You should have just assumed. Bitch, what? What?
Yeah, that wasn't the insecure part. The insecure part was...
No, I was explaining, like, how we got to the...
Yeah. But so, the insecure part was when some dude randomly yelled out your name.
I was getting to the story. I was just explaining how we... So anyway, I was rudely interrupted. So what happened was... I was like, oh, some friends wanted me to go to New York to see the fight, blah, blah, blah. And instead of him just being like, oh, that was on me, I should have followed up and let you know that I was trying to get tickets somewhere and this is where I was trying to take you. You never been there before, da-da-da. Oh, I'm a bitch. Oh, this, that, and the third. Everything fucking wrong with me, which that's also another insecure moment because that was your fuck up, not my fuck up. And then we going back and forth. So, this night gets even better. Not only do I not go out with my friends, I broke my phone. And I'm tortured by agreeing to go out with him. But not only that, I drove all the way to his house. His psycho ass fucking left his house to drive to my house. My brother, when I drove back home because I didn't see his car at his house, my brother was like, yo, what was he doing here? I tell him about it. He was like, nah, I wasn't at your house. So he never even owned up to that. Like, fucking weirdo. So anyway, we were there, and like, he didn't understand that he was wrong. Like, somebody physically had to tell him, like, calling me out my name and acting all crazy for something that he fucked up on. They had to tell him, like, nah, you was wrong. Like, you shouldn't have took it to that level. And I was, like, confused as shit because I feel like you shouldn't, as a grown person, you shouldn't need somebody to tell you you're wrong. But anyway, long story short, so we're there, whatever. I'm trying to make the best of it. In the back of my mind, I was like, yo, I should have stayed home. I'm not really going to die if I don't see this fight. But we went out, whatever, we're chilling. The whole time I'm fucking miserable because I'm still mad about the fact that we argued for like God knows how long. I have no phone now. And the only reason why I was able to hit him up was because I was hitting him up on my computer. And that was it. So without my computer and Wi-Fi, I was literally fucked. That was the only way people were going to up anyway. And here I am trying to pretend to have a good time. So we're out at the bar. We're sitting, drinking. I forgot what the fuck drink we got. We're talking about who we think is going to win, whatever. I'm trying to enjoy it. He supposedly claims he hears someone, don't know who the fuck, walks by, said my name. I didn't hear shit. All I heard was shouting. Mind you, we're at the bar. He gets all like bent out of shape and shit. Acts like the world just ended. And I'm like, what? Mind you, right? I think we had to been in what, Edison or something? I don't know nobody in fucking Edison like that. The fuck? Like, ain't no way in hell somebody gonna be shouting my name at some random bar in Edison. I don't know people in Edison. I know people in Short Hills. That's a very believable possibility. But, like, not in no fucking Edison. You know what I mean? Like, I've lived out here in this general area for a while. But, like, not long enough to be like, yo, I know everybody over here. Edison and Woodbridge and all that other shit. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, what? Yo, you had to see his face, though. It was priceless. Like, he was really, like, trying to act like he was about to get up and fight somebody type shit. Like, bitch, relax. Ain't nobody yell my name. And then my thing was, like, I have a very common name. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, so if he did shout my name, it would not have been a shocker if he was talking to somebody else. No. Not at all. It's not like my name is, like, one of those names that's, like, give me, like, some crazy-ass fucking name. I can't think of one.
Anais.
Why you gotta...
I'm just saying.
Don't come for her like that. Don't come for her.
It's a unique name.
True. I thought you was gonna say, like, Shaquiqua or some shit like that.
Shalele.
If you have those names, please don't feel offended. Don't be offended.
Be all the way offended. That shit is wild. Shit is all the way wild.
No, I'm saying, like, you want to get hate comments and shit?
Sure.
See, he fat, so he take any type of attention.
Nah. But, you know, just is what it is.
Wait, and then there was other shit that I was telling you, too. I hope you enjoy my little story time before he cut me off, though. Go ahead.
Those other things, you know, he wanted to plump you up.
I ain't pumping. Oh, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, supposedly. So, before I got with him, I wasn't like, when I was younger, I was like, when I was a kid, I was like super scared. When I got older, you know, I filled into my body, but like I was still kind of small, like for the most part. But like I had like a body that like was something to work with for a dude to look at. Like it was nothing crazy, you know what I mean? Like I knew there was chicks that was thicker than me, like I knew that, but I also wasn't no fucking toothpick either. So I was like, he was trying to make it seem like I wasn't the type of chick that a dude would look at. Like, as if I was, like, a toothpick with nut, like, you know, like, mosquito bites for titties. No offense for anybody out there who got that going on for them. You probably living the best life. You could put a t-shirt on and don't even gotta wear a bra. I wish I was you sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? No booty and shit. And he was like, yeah, you're not like thick enough. So then time went by. You know what they say, when you're in a relationship long enough, you gain weight without even realizing it. Whether it's happy weight or I guess misery weight. I guess you could gain misery weight. So time went by and he goes, oh, well, the reason why I was like doing all that late night eating, you know, because I could eat. You put food in front of me, I could fucking eat. He was like, oh, I was trying to plump you up. I was like, what? And I did gain weight. And I was like, yo, I gained weight. And I was like, yo, I'm going on a diet. And he was mad that I wanted to go on it. I was like, I don't know about you, but I've never been fat my whole entire life. And I'm not about to start now that my... Because, like, for me, I have pretty good metabolism for the age that I am. But it's also not as fast as it used to be. So I'm at that age where I eat a cheeseburger, it's more than likely going to go straight to my fucking hips. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to look like a fucking full-fledged house. But it's going to stick to me a little bit more. It's going to take me a little bit to lose that shit. So I'm not trying to be fat. And I'm getting older and shit. You know what I mean? Like, the only time... And I told him to his face, the only time being fat is cute is when you a fucking baby. And fat as you want to be. And I was fat as shit when I was a baby. I looked like a fucking balloon and shit. There was other shit, too.
Off the top of my head, those are the main two I remember. There was other things like, you know, how you would talk to him, even though he would come at you crazy and aggressive, and you know what I mean.
What do you mean how I would talk to him?
Or he had, you know, he would say certain things to you, and then you would respond, and he'd be like, "You don't gotta be like that."
How do I explain?
I don't know. He could call you a bitch, and then you lose your shit, and then he looking at you like you crazy.
Oh yeah, that was the typical thing with him. So I'm gonna explain because, you know, I'm gonna explain to you. When you do a podcast, you kind of gotta explain people who are listening. That way they really could like understand. So they could kind of envision it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you read an Audible book. Alright. So anyway, so he would say something, whatever. He'd call me like a bird, which was which for anybody who doesn't know what that is, that's pretty much calling, you know, somebody like a hoe, a slut, you know, brown, in like a slang term. So he only did that once with the whole bird thing, but he was very infamous for bitch and you know what I mean, and like shit like that. So he would, and then I'd come back at him, you know, to like defend myself. And then he would just think that like I was just raging out for no reason. Like I just had no control of my temper. And I'm looking at him like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't just, like, you know, like he'll act like I just started yelling and shouting and for no reason, like, and throwing a tantrum just because I just decided to get mad. There are people out there like that. But like that wouldn't necessarily be the case. So, and it wouldn't take much for him. Like one time I changed his name on my phone to bitch ass nigga. I don't know if you know where that came from. That came from P. Diddy. Back in the day, that was my shit, because that's when Danny the King came out. I think that was what, 06?
Something like that.
That was my shit. And that shit stuck with me, bitch ass nigga. I was like, you know what? When I see somebody as being, and he was like, no bitch assness. I remember that line too. That was on that shit. So I changed it to that because, you know, he was acting for like a while. You know, he was acting like a bitch ass nigga. And I just didn't feel like saying it to his face because, you know, I was a better person than he was. I didn't want to argue. So I kept it to myself. I didn't think he was gonna end up looking at my phone, and then he went off, caused this whole fucking scene. He out and about. Oh man, I remember that day like it was yesterday. That was one of the days I was like enraged. Wanted to, like, if murder was legal, When I tell you, if I could have did it, that would have been the day. And you want to know why? It wasn't the fact that he called me a bitch and caused a scene. I was trying to act like I was a random bitch. It was the fact that I was literally crying and upset, right? About the whole situation because I don't like doing that whole scene shit when we out in public. And he was infamous for that shit. Causing scenes out in public. I'm trying to be by myself. He was acting like I didn't matter. Nigga, why you following me like a stalker? You was just treating me like a random bitch. Why you following me like a stalker? You was just treating me like I don't matter. Now you following me everywhere I fucking go in this fucking place and I'm trying to get the fuck away. So then there's that. Then I call my parents to see if they could pick me up because at the time I didn't have money for no. I was broke as hell. And then he was mad. He was like, yo, you making me look bad. I don't know how you make somebody look bad. I was like, I don't know about you, but I'm a female. So I have to cover my tracks. I don't know. Because he was like a light switch. So I never knew if he was going to be so mad one day and decide not to take me home or some shit. So if I had to call somebody for a ride or get an Uber, I was mentally prepared for that because he seemed like petty like that. He comes across like that. And then he's one of those people that be like, do I look like I'm one of those type of people? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. By your actions, yes, you do. So he caused the whole scene. Then he trying to make sure I'm good. There was this chick that was trying to butt in that added stuff to the situation that didn't even happen. I don't know where she came from. She came out of nowhere. I was just trying to mind my business, hoping that it would be over. Then I started talking to this chick, like, me, because I really felt like I was losing my mind. So I was like, I'm gonna vent to a stranger. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I felt I was like genuinely going through it. Then instead of just letting matters die, because he's the bitches of bitch. Like, he probably runs the bitch community for all females that act like bitches. He had to say the worst thing you could possibly fucking say to a fucking female, especially a female that was already mad but holding in. When I tell you I was holding in my anger, like if I physically had a knife, that nigga would have died that night. That's how mad I was, and I was holding that shit in. You couldn't tell by my face, but I was holding it in. I was really holding it in. He comes to my face. Mind you, I didn't say nothing to him. He goes, I don't even know why I stayed with you. You got some whack ass pussy. Yo, I literally was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I slapped the ever living shit out of him, and you know what? It felt fucking good. In his mind, he was like, oh, I could have took you to court. I could have did it. Why the fuck you come in my face and say that for? He was literally like 2 inches from my face saying it. And he's like, nobody heard me. But I said, but I heard you. I heard you, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whack ass pussy, you got some whack ass fucking dick. Saw my fucking pussy. That's the worst fucking thing you could do to a chick. Even if she does have whack pussy. How dumb can you be? That's asking for death row. Damn, I remember that whole day like it was like yesterday, yo. That was wild. I was having a whole moment too. I was trying not to shit out of that cup.
I can't.
Yo, when I tell you, no, but deadass, when I tell you I was mad that day, I was mad. Like, I was really, like, fucking, like, did this nigga just, like, I had to do that stop shit. Like, did this nigga just say I got some whack ass fucking pussy and you in my face too, bitch? What? You think because I'm little I can't fight? Yo.
That's the thing, though. That's exactly what he thought.
Yo, don't he know that the little Spanish woman is like the worst one?
Apparently not.
That's what I used to tell him. I was like, because he used to crack jokes and be like, he's like, yeah, I could take your mother. I was like, what? Seen this bitch when she mad? Excuse me?
I wouldn't. After the things you done told me she did. I wouldn't try.
Why would you even try after you seen just a little bit I've done? Like,
Man, I'm good. Got anything else you want to add?
um, I don't know. The only other thing I can think of was the day I hit you up and I said I ain't want to come over, and then he was mad, and then he called me a bitch and he wanted to kick me out of his house after I was like sleeping
Oh yeah.
from drinking and shit. And we wasn't even talking. And this was when we wasn't even together. We was just friends. And I was like, I don't want to be there. And then you said some shit
I was
like,
like, all right, well then don't go.
and I was already there, like,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm already here, like.
Then go home. Like
He was so unhelpful. Like, he was like,
if you don't want to be somewhere, then don't go.
I remember I went and then I went to sleep because what happened was he thought, because yeah, here's another insecure moment. So what happened was he had this thing where I was supposed to be okay with the fact that he had female friends if he chose to have female friends.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I gave a shit, because you know what I mean? Like, if I feel like if you're not doing nothing wrong, you know what I mean? Like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
But he had an issue with me having male friends, which I thought that was kind of a contradiction because you're over here talking about I'm supposed to allow you to hang out with your female friends, supposedly that he claimed that he had, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then if I went, yo, me and my homeboy, we just gonna chill at the mall just to catch up and shit.
It's a big deal.
And I'm like, you know, so then he saw that and he's like, oh, you could leave, bitch. Like, he literally hit me to wake me up. Mind you, I was drinking, passed out in his bed. Little fruitcake ass. And I was like, what I do? He's like, oh. Like, he tried to make it seem like I was, like, talking to you about him. Like.
Yeah, no. And you weren't.
And I'm like, what? I was confused as hell because I was, like, when I tell you I was, like, trying to fall asleep, I was like, what? And he's like, oh, you over here like talking to niggas about me and all this and that. And then he felt some type of way because he's like, oh, if you don't want to be here, then don't be here.
Too much emotion.
Well, also, I was like, look, I don't even be doing nothing.
I wouldn't have woke you up, but I would have been like in the morning, alright. If you don't want to be over here, you don't want to come over here no more.
No, but what happened was I gave him the okay, like, if, you know, because this was like before I put a passcode on my phone. And I gave him the okay, like, I don't be doing nothing anyway. You want to look through my phone, whatever. And he chose to do that, and then he felt some type of way with his little emotional vagina looking ass. You know what I mean? Like, to go through my shit and then took what I said personally. By the way, like, down there, like, if he's not hard, it looked like a vagina. With balls.
I can't.
It does.
You ready for the next topic?
Oh, God, I got an image. Wait, hold up.
Look like something straight out of Cyberpunk.
What? Oh. Oh, he could be a cyberpunk character. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh man, that made my day. I feel better now. I feel like I just lost 20 pounds.
Okay.
I mean, that's not even the half of it, but you know, I could be on that all day. But we gotta move on to the other topics. So.
Mm-hmm.
Is it dog abuse if you have 6 dogs and most of the time they have to be locked up? Oh yeah, I remember that topic.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, as long as you take care of them.
I mean, it's not full-fledged dog abuse, but it's partially because the dog doesn't...
It's just, I wouldn't call it abuse. It's unfair to the dogs. You know, dogs like
By the way, you want a dog?
Dogs like to be out and roaming and...
I got one named Lou, Remy, Tank. Well, you can't take Tank. He ain't gonna go. That's the one thing with Tank. Like, he gonna start crying. Can't take Tank. Mocha ain't gonna go either. Zeus might. He like everybody. Cupid, no.
Yeah,
He
but
might.
it's. I don't think it's dog abuse. I just think it's unfair. Again, if you don't have the space to allow them to, like your situation is a little different because your dogs can get aggressive with each other.
Yeah, see, the problem is, my parents had taken in, like, there was dogs that they had of their own. Right, one of them was supposed to be my dog, but he got more attached to my stepdad or whatever. And I also wasn't gonna argue about taking a dog, leaving their households and be like, well, technically this is my dog. Like, I'm not doing all that. So anyway, and two of my brothers, one of them, he moved into an apartment that didn't allow dogs. So we took his one dog. His other dog we couldn't take because we just didn't have the room for him. So he had to put that dog in the shelter. But the dog he put in the shelter was already older. He was already like 14, 15 years old. So he was already up there. He was the father of the dog we took in. And, he mated him and stuff like that. So there was other dog, like puppies and like, they're full grown dogs now. But like, there was other dogs that he gave to like some of my brothers or he sold to people from that particular dog he had to put in the shelter. He didn't want to put him in the shelter, but there was no other option because we couldn't take him in and he couldn't take him where he was moving. And he also knew his dog, Trouble, because of the age he was, he maybe had like a year because he was already like an old man. So he didn't want to do that because that was his dog, but
He was limited on options.
yeah, you know what I mean? I felt bad because the type of dog that Trouble is, for how big, because when I tell you he was a big ass, he was like, I think past my knee or something like that. He was up there. He was a pretty big ass pit bull. The problem is because he was a pit bull and the size that he was, even though he wasn't like a mean dog or nothing like that, the problem is, I hate to say it, they probably euthanized him as soon as he walked out that door. That's the sad part. Just because of the dog he was and how old he was and just his size, because nobody was gonna take him.
Yeah.
So it's what it is. And then what was I gonna say? There's that, and then my other brother, he just got all these dogs, and he, living the life of a breeder, or I don't know. And his dog Remy, she's a very good, disciplined dog. I wish she wouldn't bark so fucking much, fucking bitch. But no, she is a bitch. That's a female dog.
Anyway.
If you look it up in the dictionary, female dog is bitch. By the way. See? Dictionary lesson. Woo! Anyway. But she's a very disciplined dog. He was over here talking about taking his dog back, but he never did. So then we ended up with the dog because we wasn't gonna just let the dog go high and dry. And then he had another dog prior to Remy, Hank, which is the brother to our dog Mocha, that he had, but then he ain't want no more because he was into Remy, and this was before we had Remy, had Remy for ourselves, because Remy was living with us at one point when my brother was living with us, and then he took Remy with him, and then we ended back with Remy. But Tank, the only reason why we took Tank in was because he was the brother to one of our dogs, and because of his size and the type of dog he was, more than likely he was gonna have the same fate as Trouble, and that. And literally the only dogs in the house that are like their dog, like I guess you could say the family's dogs that like they got on their own. Zeus, she got because I bumped into a dude that made it his dog and I told her about it, and then that's how she ended up with Zeus. We got him on her, we got him on our own. Mocha, they agreed they wanted to get Mocha. Cupid was my dog that was given to me. Because at the time I was going through a breakup and my mother decided for some odd reason that giving me a puppy was gonna make me feel better, which but okay. For Valentine's Day, which made it worse. And so technically just 3 of those dogs out of all the dogs that I just named should really be in the house. And there's that.
Yeah. So basically, no, but dogs should really be allowed to.
Yeah, and then back to
roam the house.
Yeah, back to what he was saying. Because we have Lou, Tank, not so much Cupid, but Lou, Tank, Zeus, they can't be in the same room together.
No.
And that's all because they have their ball.
They get aggressive with each other, but
Well, no, not really Tank, but Tank, he's gonna defend himself, but Tank isn't the initiator. Tank, I'm not really worried about, but they just keep him apart because Lou is the problem is Zeus. He comes across as like he's the alpha dog, and he knows it, and he's not very fond of other male dogs, so he's also one of those dogs that, like, if you walk him on a leash, you have to be very careful about who walks him because he's very strong. And I tell you, he's very strong. Very strong. He can pull you very easily. He got muscles in his legs that I don't even have. He's not a mean dog, but he just don't fuck with other male dogs. You see another male dog? Female dogs, he cool with. He like, hey, what's up? And don't let her be in the heat. Forget it. Oh my god. But male dogs, sometimes he ignores them. You know what I mean? Like, he'll just be like, whatever. Sometimes it could be a dog the size of like Zion. He'll just lose his shit. He don't give a fuck sometimes. Like, he's an asshole like that. But that's because he has that like territorial, like, I'm the only male dog, like, type of mindset. That's the only thing with him. Lou, he's an instigator. He knows that, there's other male dogs, and he wanna be like, I'm gonna show you I'm here. Da 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 da. And Zeus outweighs him. Even Tank.
Yeah.
And the messed up part is Tank is his uncle or something like that. Great. But like, he's an instigator. Tank is just he's one of those dogs that's just like the innocent bystander that's like, yo, you come in my face though, I'm gonna have to fight you. He's not really looking for a fight. So that's the problem with them.
Yeah. But I think it wouldn't be so bad if you guys didn't have all of them there.
Well, it's also that, and because if they all knew each other when they were babies. Because Zeus used to be cool with Tank when he was a puppy, but then when he was gone for like a couple months, he was like, oh, this is my house now. And then all that died. All that died really quickly. So, so I feel like if Tank stayed around like he was, because Tank was around when Zeus was a puppy. So the thing with dogs is they know when another dog is smaller than them, so they know how to like play a certain way. So because of the type of dog that Zeus is, like how he is, like personality wise, if Tank had stayed around for when he started getting older, like when he started getting a little bit out of that puppy phase and started growing into that, like, oh, I'm the alpha dog phase. They might have been buddies.
Mm-hmm.
But
Anything else?
anybody want a dog?
No. Just giving away her dogs.
Shit, I don't care. Anything you want to add?
Just, if you don't have the room for 6 dogs, don't
That's
get
what,
6 dogs.
I mean, that's what I said, but they was like, oh, what was supposed to let him be homeless?
No, but hold on to them for a little while. But
Yeah,
when you find a home for them, then let them go.
That's what I said, but they got all attached and shit.
Yeah.
And then I also said, like, that's not your responsibility because your children, not so much when I said that, but like my mother, so because your children decided to get dogs that they couldn't keep, why is it your problem? Because, I mean, I get it, it's a dog, it's not their fault, but still, I would have gladly found somebody that wanted a dog. And some people love that shit when they get a dog that's already potty trained and all that other shit. Like, okay. So the next topic is, should you wait until marriage to have sex? Yes and no, I guess. I mean, I think it depends on like
preference.
Well, not preference, but I think it depends on the type of relationship you have prior. Like, I feel like it's retarded when you hear those people that be like, "Oh, we're gonna wait until we get married," but they know good and damn well they know what it's like to get a dick inside them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? But like, if you somebody who genuinely got to that age where you have relationships, where you got to that point of wanting to get married to somebody, and you just never had sex because you were waiting for that right person, then you can do whatever the fuck you want. But if you already know what it's like to have sex, I feel like that's so dumb to like torture yourself like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you already know what it's like to have sex, so all you're doing is genuinely just torturing yourself.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I feel like whether you have had it before or not, even if it's just your first time, you know what I mean?
I feel bad for you if it's your first time because the reason why I say that is because I feel like experiencing your first time should not happen on your wedding day. On the female end of things. Because I don't think, me personally, I don't feel like that's an experience. Like, I feel like that takes away the fun of the honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like that's an experience you want to have on your honeymoon. I feel like you want to just be like enjoying yourself, doing all that wild, stupid shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna have to go through if you never had sex.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, if that's what you want to do, if you think that's gonna get you to heaven faster, by all means, do whatever you gotta do. Whatever works. You know.
Yeah, I think that's just more of my personal belief is just a choice thing. If that's what you want to do and that's how you want to live your life, then go on forward.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at Psycho. He was a virgin on his life. He definitely has been a virgin.
Probably, more than likely. From all the stuff you told me.
How you say that?
The virgin moves.
What?
Stuff that he was doing. Just
What was virgin moves? Please explain. We having a fun podcast here. Oh, I'm enjoying every fucking minute of this.
the told me about what the wanting to keep going at it 15 times a night.
Oh my god, yo, he was like he probably still is, but like he was like, he thought something was wrong with me. See, I used to try to make him come like 6 times. And now the worst, any man, right, that's ever messed with a chick, right, you never wanna, do whatever it is you do, right, even if it's like 2 rounds, 3 rounds, whatever. If she already fell asleep from whatever the fuck you did, leave her the fuck alone. It's not the same when a chick go wake up a dude and just start sucking his dick.
Nah.
It's not the same effects.
Nope.
No, it's not. You gonna get the, what the fuck you doing? Da 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 da. Like, I was fucking sleeping. What the fuck is wrong with you? You got a hand, right? The fuck, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna kill the whole move that you had planned out.
Sure is.
So, I was like, what? Wait,
It pays not to be a creep. You just tell he had like a lack of experience with women, just how he had all these expectations for you. Oh, cook and clean, and I'll pay all the bills. Like, come on, bro. First of all, you don't make that kind of money. Second of all, it's 2020. Women aren't just cooking and cleaning for you.
he was basing it off of what his mother and father did, but then I was like,
I mean, I could base my life off of how my mother treated the men before, but I can base my life off of how she is now. It ain't gonna do me no good. You know what I mean? You gotta do more than just pay bills to get that kind of privilege. Like,
and then he I mean, there was that. And then it was also, how can I even take you seriously when, you know what I mean? Like, you talking about me not working because your mother decided to do whatever, right? When she decided to have kids. But you don't even help me if I'm over here scraping pennies together to figure out how I'm gonna come up with a goddamn game plan. And I'm supposed to depend on your paycheck to make sure I survive? Like, are you fucking on crack? And that's what I said. He's like, oh, right, you gonna stop working if you have my kid. I looked at him, I said, what now? And he was like, right? And I said, but I like to have my own money. Oh, you'll have my money. I said, no, honey. I said, no. I said, the problem with that is, I want to go on a shopping spree, right? When I make my own money, if I want to spend $500 fucking dollars, if it's my money, I could spend that $500 motherfucking dollars. But if it's your money, you know what's gonna happen? Oh, you spent $500 on a shopping spree. What the fuck are you doing?
Yep.
And I feel like that's what any man knows for the most part.
Yep.
I feel like even you would do it.
Yep. You don't tell me about it beforehand, and I just get that notification, and I'm short $500 out of nowhere.
I'm gonna be like, wasn't me.
Yeah, all right. You the only other person who can get to this money. Fuck out of here.
It wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. And then you're gonna look at
$500 at Mac.
No, and then you're gonna look at what the money was spent on and be like, oh, so this wasn't you?
You ain't buy this dress from Fashion Nova. You ain't buy $82, $87 worth of fucking makeup from Mac.
You ain't go to Victoria's Secret?
You ain't go to Victoria's Secret.
That wasn't me. Somebody took your card.
$300 at GameStop? Oh, that was me. No, my bad. that was me.
But well, yeah. What else?
It's just his overall like. Oh, what else? The not eating pussy thing because his friend doesn't do it.
That was gay to me. Like,
yeah.
I've never heard a dude say that. I've heard dudes say that's not their thing, right? And they just don't do it. That's fine. I can accept that. It's a whole nother ballpark when you saying you don't do something because another grown ass man don't do something. And I'm like, what? So then it was funny because when he said that, right? I was like, has his wife cheated on him? And he's like, what you mean? She hasn't cheated on him? I said, she going to. And he looked at me and I said, unless she blatantly said, and I was like this, unless she blatantly said getting her pussy eaten was not her thing, all it's gonna take is that one dude to come along and know how to do it And then she gonna realize what she missing.
Mm-hmm.
And he was looking at me like what I was saying was crazy. I was like, I don't know where the fuck you came from. Something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
Even I know that. And I'm a fucking chick. I don't even got a dick and balls and I know that shit.
Not hard.
Is this shit fucking flickering again?
It did. Um, let's move on to the next thing then before these lights go out.
Fucking house having problems and shit. How does surgery change your body?
How has surgery changed your body? I think that's more of along. That's more for you, cause.
Wait, what do you mean? I ain't had no surgery. What the fuck?
Did you not have surgery on your knee?
Oh, okay. I thought you was talking about like plastic surgery.
No.
I forgot why I even made that.
I think it was for that reason.
Oh yeah. My bad. Hold up. I was having a moment. For some reason, my mind went straight to plastic surgery. I don't know why. Cause I was about to come up. I was gonna tell a story about plastic surgery, and then I was gonna talk about like regular surgery.
Cause I never had surgery.
Yeah.
And we talked about that when we made this.
Oh yeah. I remember. First time, I don't know why my mind went to plastic surgery.
The only surgery I guess would have had was when I burned my hand.
Yeah, but that's not surgery.
It's not surgery. It's like a procedure.
It's not
but
surgery.
like I wouldn't
that don't even count.
I wouldn't have remembered anything from it anyway. I was too little.
Yeah, but that's not surgery though. That's just like making sure your hand is good so you can even use it as a person.
Yeah.
That's not really surgery. Surgery is like if you broke a finger and they had to snap it back into place and make sure your finger was functional type.
They didn't even do that. I forgot how they did what they did with my finger.
No, but I'm saying like I'm talking about like if you broke a finger and like a ligament was messed up and they had to replace a ligament in your finger or something like that. Like that's where I was going with that, but yeah. So I had knee surgery back when I was like in high school. Originally, when I had it, I was the doctor wanted to wait till I was like 18 at the time, but based on when my birthday was, like he was like, "Oh, never mind. Like we're just gonna do it now because if we wait, because my birthday's in the summer, so." Based on the time that I had saw my orthopedic, the time that he wanted me to wait, because he thought he was going to be able to do the surgery by spring. And his reasoning for wanting to wait was because he didn't want to stop my growth. And then I looked at him like, well, if I have to have surgery sooner rather than later, stopping my growth, I'm like, what am I going to lose, like an inch? And I was like, I'm not really that tall anyway, so. You know what I mean? Like, I was already, like, when I messed up my knee, I was, like, a sophomore in high school. Because he was trying to do it based off of, for a female, when you stop growing, and for a dude, like, he grows, and then, like, 21, he gets, like, 1 more inch, and then he's done. So, it's a little bit different growth-wise when it comes to a female versus a dude. But I was looking at the doctor like, look, I don't think I'm growing. But I ended up doing the surgery when I was like 17. I was like, it was in the middle of my junior year, right before I was about to get into my senior year of high school. I tell you, it was like going to the bathroom sucks. Moving around sucked in the beginning. I was cool with missing school though. I didn't like the fact that I still had to do schoolwork, even though that wasn't fun. But
Never is.
What?
Said it never is.
No, it's even worse because you at home trying to chill and then.
You ain't learning nothing. None of the other niggas is learning in school, but you gotta do all the same work. You don't know what the fuck that teacher's saying in that classroom, but you gotta do this and this and this. It's all the same. Those ass.
But like when when I was healing, it was fine. It kind of sucked, you know what I mean? Like the initial coming home from the surgery and stuff like that. Um, but it wasn't horrible until like when I started trying to get back into the groove of doing certain sports. Like I had to be very careful how I did certain things, like running and stuff like that. Things that I used to just easily just do without thinking about it. And then now it's like I move one wrong way and it's a fucking problem. So it sucks. It really does. Like I felt like from the day I had surgery to now, I just feel like I'm older than what I really am. Like it's annoying, and nobody will really understand unless they have like a really major surgery, like knee, shoulder, back. I'm trying to think of another. Maybe.
Maybe something on your ankle might do it for you.
Oh, I heard the ankle is pretty bad
and the
too.
shoulder blades I heard were bad.
That's how I know he wasn't listening because I said
you
shoulder.
You did say shoulder. I listen.
See what I did with?
It's been a long day for me.
You see what I did with? I'm supposed to be the light of his life. I'm supposed to just have energy just cause, right? I get. I'm gonna start charging you.
Okay. Anyway.
Oh, by the way, if anybody wants a free haircut, available.
Anyway.
I could talk about the plastic surgery aspect of it, not from personal experience, but because that's also surgery. I know, but you know, Psycho said he knew better, but anybody that knows that dumbass nigga know he's stupid. I think somebody was knocking. I couldn't. Sounded like it. Couldn't tell. But he. Well, it sounded like knocking, and I was just saying.
It's probably somebody at follow.
So anyway, I know from personal experience because my mother, she did like a tummy tuck and then she did her boobs or whatever. And now, if you hug somebody, can't remember which one is not as hard because it's saline and silicone. One is harder than the other. I can't remember which one is which. Like as far as hardness wise, I forgot which one she got. But yo, when I tell you I hugged her, yo, my titties went from the size that they are, and I felt like I went from mosquito bites from hugging her. Them shits hurt. And I got some pretty big boobs, and I was like, oh, this ain't right. And then I told this to, you know, what inspired this whole podcast to even start. You know, the lovely person we call Psycho. He said, oh, people who get their boobs done, it's not hard. What? How the fuck do you... Oh, I've hugged chicks. Have you hugged chicks who got saline or silicone in their titties? Have you? With your soft ass titties on your chest? Have you? Because they might push in your fat ass titties. And then that's when I looked at him and I was like, this nigga just be making everything up. Like everything. Like even you said it, that like chicks who get their boobs done was hard. So I'm like, he said it wasn't. He said it felt like a regular boob. And I said, yeah. Here's a little word of advice. It can feel like a regular boob if you put fat in your boob. Like natural fat in your boob. But if you put saline or silicone, your boob is not going to feel the same. It's still going to be a boob. Because you have to remember, the doctor has to cut your boob open. He has to reconstruct the boob to kind of put the nipple back. Because technically he has to move the nipple. And all this other stuff. And you know what I mean? So it's not going to be quite the same. It's not saying there's not going to be a boob there. You know what I mean? You're not going through no surgery for no breast cancer or nothing like that. But it's going to be a little bit different. But somebody like dumbass Psycho is going to tell you otherwise because he know every fucking thing. And if you don't believe me, ask somebody who has surgery on their titties. They'll explain the process. And I'm not talking about them bitches that be putting fat in their titties to make them look a little bit bigger. I'm talking about them bitches that get saline and silicone. So ask them what the plastic surgeon had to do to fucking put that fucking saline and silicone up in them titties.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll tell you they had to get rid of her nipple, put it back and reconstruct it and all this other shit. But if you talk to somebody like Psycho, he gonna tell you lying. He know better.
Even a dead clock is right twice a day.
What?
You never heard that saying?
No. I like some hood saying.
Old saying. Either a dead clock or a broke clock. It's right twice a day.
What does that mean? Explain that to me.
Every once in a while, somebody might be right. Doesn't mean you're gonna be right about this one. They're right every once in a while.
Yeah, but
twice a day.
Yeah, but you also have to be somebody that's willing to accept somebody might actually know something. What? What's wrong with you?
You heard the buzzer? I think somebody's. I don't like that. I could hear like mad stuff going on up there.
What do you mean? What buzzing?
It was like somebody's phone was buzzing. That's why I looked. I thought it was mine. But
it could have easily been mine.
Bro.
It's okay. I'm trying to get him off the crack.
That's what it is.
he was about to go with it too. I almost had him.
Mm-hmm.
You want to confess something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I've been up since 6:30 this morning. It is now 10:59.
He also wanted me to come over here, by the way, so this is on him.
I did. But I also told you you had came tomorrow too.
Yeah, but my nose was feeling stuffy, and I didn't want to wake up tomorrow worse than what I am today. For some reason, I went down in my basement and I just like died of a fucking allergy attack. You even said I sounded like a fucking Street Fighter character.
Yeah, when you did that sneeze.
I did it like 2 times, 3 times.
It sounded like you did like 7.
He was making fun of me too, like.
You sounded crazy.
I was over here laughing. He's like, "You good?"
I was concerned. That shit sounded wild.
He was like, "Yo, you good?" And I'm over here laughing and shit, trying to breathe, like. But yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I really have to say about the whole surgery thing. If you haven't had surgery, whether it's plastic surgery, a surgery for your body part so you could be a functioning person in society. If you have a friend that had surgery or a family member, you can ask them. Ask them what it was like to go through surgery, the healing process. Was it fun? Was it not fun? And I would say go from there. Because you don't really understand what it's like to go through surgery unless you either know somebody and you had to take care of them and they told you about it, or unless you go through it yourself. Okay, so the next topic is it hard to be faithful if you like both sexes / cheated in a relationship before?
Now, coming from a perspective of someone who's never cheated before, I can say, no, it's not that hard.
Oh, I feel a sneeze coming up.
It shouldn't be that hard to be faithful to somebody you care about. Bless you.
Thank you. It was like one of those things, like a feather went up my nose. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. But you can continue.
But yeah, and that's just my point of view. Like, it shouldn't be difficult to not cheat on someone you care about. You know what I mean? Especially if they're doing right by you.
You're basing it off of them doing right by you, though. But even for you, that's not like your mindset is like cheating is wrong anyway.
It is.
No matter
what.
Not
happy to leave.
I mean, that's easier said than done. You could keep talking. Like, I'm over here trying to get myself right.
Yeah, you saying it's easier said than done, but like.
No, I'm saying like it's easier to tell somebody to leave a relationship because you're not in the relationship and you don't know how they feel, you don't know what's going on in their head, you don't know if it's hard for them to make that decision.
Yeah.
Even if
so your option is to cheat.
So even if, you know what I mean, like, well, hey, we talked about this. Not everybody cheat. You have those people who cheat from Jump Street in a relationship, and they don't even give the relationship chance to develop to see if it's worth a relationship being in. Mm-hmm. Then you have those people who go through hell and back with this person, and they really trying to make it work. And it's like pulling teeth, right? And you know what I mean? And then you're in that in-between state of you don't know if you want to leave the relationship or if you want to go. And then you end up just making decisions along the way that if the person found out about it, they wouldn't be too happy. But they also led you to that point too. Now, it's not saying it's necessarily right, but I love how people, this is what kills me about people. So easy for somebody to tell you, especially if you were somebody in a situation where you're cheating on your partner for whatever your reasoning is, whether it's a good, an okay reason, whatever the case is, whatever the fuck is going on with your relationship. I love how it's so easy for someone to tell you to leave your relationship, but then if somebody's going through the same motherfucking type of problems you are, as soon as you tell that motherfucker to leave their relationship, they got 500, and I know from personal experience, because I had people telling me to leave my last relationship, like, oh, you should leave, blah, 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 this and the third, and I knew people who was kind of going through, not the same thing I was going through, as far as the relationship, but a similar what you got, holding him out?
I guess.
A similar concept of what I was going through in my relationship. And as soon as I was like, oh, you should leave because of this, and this, with good, valid reasons, oh, it's a problem now. Mm-hmm. But it's okay for you to tell me to leave. And that's what I mean. That's why it's like, that's why I always say it's easier said than done. Because you're not in that relationship. You don't know how I feel about that person. I might hate that motherfucker to the motherfucking core. But I might also still have love for that motherfucker. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to go about this shit. And that's kind of like the state I was in for a while. Like, I still technically had love for the motherfucker. But I still technically wanted to smother that nigga with a pillow. Type shit. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of wish he fell down the stairs. Was like, you know, crippled for the rest of his life type shit. Got erectile dysfunction, something. Didn't happen though. Maybe it happened now. I don't know. But you know what I mean? But then I was like, oh, but I still love him though. It was fucked up though. It was a fucked up type of love. But remember, he said, if you never thought about killing your partner, you don't really love them. Yeah.
That's next level.
What's next? What are you doing?
Taking my foot from underneath my other foot.
Wait, what's next level? Explain what's next level.
You don't necessarily have to have a thought about killing them to love them.
I mean, I thought about killing you.
Of course you did.
I mean, for different reasons, but...
Yeah, I've never thought about killing you, though, so... You know what I mean?
Yeah, but, you know...
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
But it's, you know, it's a lot more expected from a chick for the partner.
Is it?
What else is part of this topic? We never talked about the both sex thing. We just talked about the cheating thing. I feel like back to the cheating thing. If you did it in a relationship before, I can say yes. You know, because we kind of explained what we were talking about, but we never really explained if it would be an issue before. Mm-hmm. You kind of just gave your opinion and you never really explained.
On the cheating thing. On the both sex thing.
No. On the before. Talking about if you were somebody who cheated in a relationship before. Um,
Yo, we're recording. So we're recording.
um, about the before part. You just went on to you see, this is his problem. I be saying a question and then he misses the point of the question. The point of the question was not just to talk about the cheating, but to talk about if you cheated in a relationship before, how would that affect you for a future relationship? Go ahead and say something.
Okay. I was answering one part of the question. I don't know anything about cheating before because I've never cheated. So I don't know how it would affect someone in a future relationship. I would imagine that it shouldn't really be that difficult. It depends on who you get into a relationship with.
Wait, so that's your theory on it? So if you cheated before, your theory is that everything is supposed to be hunky dory, even if you with somebody that's supposed to...
No, that's why I just said it depends on the person that you get in a relationship with.
No, but what I'm saying is, you're saying it depends on the person. Well,
So basically, what I'm saying is, if you get with somebody, right?
Yeah, but what does
you
that
cheated before, right? Listen, cheated before. You get somebody that treats you good. Shouldn't necessarily, just because you did it in the past, right? Shouldn't necessarily be that difficult to stay faithful to somebody treating you relatively well. Whereas if you got with somebody that was just another dickhead,
I mean,
you might be more inclined to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna just keep doing me.
I mean, but that's like being stereotypical about it. That's just assuming that's what somebody would.
No, I'm just saying it shouldn't be that difficult. I'm not saying it isn't.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what we're talking about how would it affect you as far as a future relationship, because you have done it before, not who you would end up with. Okay, I'm gonna just explain. I would say if you've done it before, it can affect you because you know there's so many other options and you're just stuck in this bubble with the same person. And I know I'm one of those people that get bored very easily. It can be very difficult, especially when you see other options out there that you could be with. Whether you go follow through with it or not is a totally different ballpark, but it can affect how you go about relationships, because you also know what it's like to be in a relationship, have your fun, and get away with it at the same time. So you might be more inclined to be like, oh, well, I've done this before. What's the big deal now? A lot of options. I'm stuck with the same fucking person. It is boring. You know what I mean? Like, and then you might want to. Like I said, it's a completely different ballpark if you choose to, but it's a very big possibility. And a lot of people get this misconception that just because you're with somebody that's worth being with or worth, getting married to or whatever the case is, that's supposedly supposed to stop you from cheating. That's shit. If a motherfucker's gonna cheat, they gonna cheat. It don't matter what the fuck you do for them. It don't matter if you're their future husband, future wife. If they're gonna cheat on you, you know what I mean, for whatever the reason is, you made them mad that day, you didn't do something they wanted, whatever the fuck the reason was that caused them to make that decision to cheat on you, they do not matter. All of that shit get thrown in the back burner for whatever led them to that decision. And that's just how the cookie crumbles when it comes to that type of shit. What do you have to say about the both sex thing?
Me, I'm not attracted to both sexes.
No, I mean, you don't have to be attracted.
I don't have the insight to be like.
I mean, but like, just I know that. I get that. But like, how do you think? Just like an opinion, right?
I feel like it would be difficult for someone, yes, because they are attracted to both sex. I feel like it would be difficult for someone.
In what ways?
They're attracted to both sexes, so you're dating, like, You, for example, you're dating me, but
Why
you
you?
like
Oh,
you like women too.
put me on the spot and shit.
I'm just saying. You put me on the spot all the time.
See, he lying now. Ooh, why you lying? I'm gonna talk to Santa. Ooh.
Anyway, I
And
can
then you had
imagine.
that serious ass face.
I can imagine that it'd be
What's
difficult.
going on with you?
Nothing.
Serious ass face.
Cause you
and
really
shit?
just like was like, no, I didn't. No, I don't.
And then I said I was gonna get Santa on you, and you just had like a serious ass face and shit.
I was saying, I imagine it would be difficult.
It can be very difficult. Um, because it's like you kind of get into that weird phase of like, do you want to do a threesome with the person you with if they're down to do a threesome? You know, you have those thoughts in your head. Then it's like, because you also have to put into consideration some people won't allow you to sleep with the same sex unless they're involved. And more often, not saying that a dude wouldn't necessarily do it with another dude. That's not as common as you would hear about a dude and two chicks. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are like, well, if I'm not part of it, then you can't go and do this. So there's that. Like, you're not really gonna encounter somebody that you're gonna be like. Not saying it's impossible, but you're not gonna encounter as many people that are gonna be okay with you. Let's say you bump into somebody of the same sex and you decide, you know what I mean, like, yo, I kind of fuck with this person. Like, I wanna, see where this go. You're not really gonna get too many people that are gonna be okay with you just, you know what I mean, like hooking up with them and doing whatever. And then I guess if you decide you want to tell them whatever the fuck you're doing, not a lot of people are gonna be cool with that. You know what I mean? Where the fuck is that energy?
I'm looking at you while you talk.
I want to see.
I didn't know I was supposed to be jumping and screaming while you were talking.
Yeah, you supposed to give me that smile. Where that smile?
I'm just supposed to be sitting here like this the whole time while you're talking?
Supposed to be like the basement yard and shit.
Yeah, whatever.
All that energy.
Keep continuing with what you were saying.
Yeah, so like I was saying, you're not really, like I said, it's not impossible, but it's not as common to hear about you being with somebody, whether it's a chick with a dude or a dude with a chick, where they're gonna let you sleep with the same sex, so that way you could like feed that itch, as long as like it's just the same sex and back to them or whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, they're gonna want to be part of whatever it is that you're trying to do. Like, at least from what I hear people talk about. Like I said, it is possible. It is very difficult because sometimes you have those moments where you're like, oh, I really feel like being with this motherfucker. Yeah, I want to go be with, this motherfucker over here. We could both have our period together. Be happy go lucky. Or, I guess for a dude, we could jerk off together.
Yikes.
I feel like that would be, oh my god, that would be really fun to see.
I'm good.
There's people, like, I don't know if people still use Craigslist, but like, on the Joe Santagato episode, he was talking about people like selling shit on Craigslist. And one of them was like, he was like, I'm not gay, but I just want somebody to jerk off with.
Yikes.
Yo. So I guess that's like a thing you could do as a straight person without actually like.
I'm good.
Why? What would you do if your homie was like, "Yo, let's just do shit"? Like you don't have to be. You don't have to be like knee to.
Curse him the fuck out.
You don't have to be like knee to knee.
No, I don't give a fuck.
What? So what's wrong with that?
No.
But you're not explaining what's wrong. You're just saying no.
That's gay as hell. What do you mean?
But you're not.
I don't want no nigga jerking his shit in front of me, next to me, around me, in the same room as me. Yeah, that's just somewhere else. No. No.
I'm just saying this.
No.
So then, what would you say?
I tell him no. The fuck is wrong with you?
No, but I'm saying like, I'm talking about the people who are down to do that.
Have fun with yourselves. If that's what y'all want to do it. Keep me the fuck out of it.
Wait, but would you view it as gay?
Yeah. I guess technically no. Y'all not doing anything with each other. You're not touching each other, but it's somewhere in between there.
That's what I'm saying. So what makes it gay if you're not touching each other?
I'm still not doing it.
See, men have. I feel like men are like very, especially straight men. They're very like They're very uncomfortable with a lot of things because of the supposed like mindset that society has put on them. But like a chick, they could comfortably just like masturbate with each other
because nobody gives a shit. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody's gonna be like, "Hey, these two bitches back here slapping they shit together." Like, you know what I mean? And they're not gonna be like, "Hey, they being gay as hell right now. Let's go."
Wait, what do you mean slapping they shit like they got a dick?
I don't know, rubbing they shits.
I was about to say, isn't it rubbing? Like, what the fuck you mean slapping like they got a dick?
I'm just saying, like, ain't nobody trying to expose y'all for doing it.
Yeah, but if you're not like sitting next to each other, your knees aren't going like this.
First of all, it's kind of sus to even have the interest in jerking it with someone.
No, you're just in the same room.
Give a fuck. Give a fuck.
Wouldn't it be gayer to, like, as a straight man, to let another man kiss you on the lips?
Yeah, I'm not doing that either, though.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't that be gayer than being in the same room?
I don't know, because you could see his dick.
Yeah, but you don't have to look at it. You're just in the same room.
If you can have a Woody and another motherfucker's in the room with you with their dick out, and you can maintain...
No, but you're not looking at each other. You just both think of whatever to get you hard to masturbate.
No. Why? Why go through all that when you can just do the shit in your bathroom or
no, but I'm
in
just
your
saying,
own bedroom
but I'm
by
saying,
yourself?
But you're assuming that they're looking at each other while they're doing it.
I don't want to be in the same room while he's doing it. I don't want to hear him doing his thing. I don't want to.
You never heard of like blocking shit out?
Anyway.
So then what's the fuck is the difference when you in the same house or on vacation with your friends and you can hear them fucking in the next room? Knowing good and damn well what the fuck they doing.
I mean, usually you get mad about that shit too. Like, yo, can y'all keep that shit down? I'm trying to sleep. The fuck?
No, but I'm saying, like, you still know what his dick is doing. You may not physically be looking at it, but...
You know what, though? That's better than him being in the same fucking room as me, beating his shit.
Yeah, but you gonna be beating your shit, too. You just love having conversations with me.
Mm-hmm. Really?
I act like you don't like it.
Anyway, moving on.
There's nothing wrong with if you want to off your dick with your homie in the same room. Don't be him.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. If they want to go do it, then go do it. It's not for me. I'm not doing it.
Wait, what about if it's like a situation where like your girl grabs your dick and like starts playing with your dick, but your homie's in the room and then back off?
I'm telling him to leave.
No, but I'm saying, like, you don't think that's like weird?
It is weird. You're my girl. You're my girl. It's not like you some hoe. You know what I mean?
What the fuck is being a hoe got to do with that?
I mean, you can give a fuck if he see what you do to him or not. Probably, but even if it was just a chick, like, the fuck on out, bro.
No, but I'm saying, like, what I'm trying to ask is, do you think it would be weird of the dude to not be bothered by the fact that their friend is in the room?
Yes.
And still manage to keep a heart?
Bro, leave. Like,
So, like, if their reaction isn't bro, leave, then what?
Then I don't know what you would call him, but he need to get his shit together.
Cool.
Whoever it is that didn't have the reaction that was bro leave.
Oh, so psycho.
Yeah.
Or like when he did his friend dirty and he was letting me pull deep and didn't tell him until after. He had already been using it.
Ridiculous.
What kind of friend is that though?
Not a good one.
I forgot what you said you would do if your homie did that to you. Like if you was into vaping.
I'd have spazzed on her. What?
What do you mean? Like,
Yeah, she could keep this shit now. Fuck, I don't want this shit no more.
no, but it was Psycho's vape, but he would like he, his best friend will pull from it from time to time, but he never, because you could change the top part, but he never like switched the top part out. Like it was the same one from whenever the last time I sucked his dick and put my lips to it. And he let him pull from it, and then he ain't say nothing until after he pulled from the vape. And then he was like, "Oh, like he was sitting there contemplating if he should say something or just leave it alone."
Wow, you might as well just not tell me, dog, because I'm a trip.
No, he did, and then he said he punched him in the shoulder or something like that. Why? What do you mean you gonna trip? What you gonna say?
I'm gonna steal him. Punch him in the shoulder? Nigga. Fuck to tell me some shit like that for? You should have took that shit to the grave. Cause now I gotta beat your ass. Letting that shit happen.
What? Oh, the fact that, I mean, now you know what your best friend dick tastes like.
No, that's the problem.
Isn't it more on him for like letting you pull from the vape, knowing that?
Yeah, that's why I'm whooping his ass.
So on the scale of 1 to 10, best friend wise, what does he get?
He gets a negative 47. We ain't even friends no more. Like, the fuck? I'm fucking him up. Public enemy number 1. I'm whooping his ass from here to West Carteret.
Wait, so then what's your next reaction? Like, what you doing with your mouth?
I'm probably gonna throw up first. Then I'm gonna go brush my teeth.
What?
Get some Listerine or something.
What, his house or?
I don't fucking. I'm out. Out. Away from y'all.
It wasn't the girl. It wasn't the.
It's not her fault, but I need to get away from y'all.
It's his fault for not saying nothing, for knowing that you grabbed the vape and you went, and he was just watching you, contemplating if you should say something. That's where it was fucked up to me. I was like, oh my god, you ain't saying nothing to him. You ain't say no. Like before he put it to his.
Nothing.
Oh dang, that's fucked up. Even I said that was fucked up.
Super fucked up.
And I don't even got a dick. But anyway, so we're on the last part of this podcast, which is trivia. We're not quite gonna do trivia, but we're gonna talk about something.
Stop comparing GTA and Cyberpunk.
That was my idea, by the way.
For fuck's sake. I get the comparisons. Some of the comparisons.
Yeah, but you also have to understand, right?
They're two different games.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Two different genre of games at that.
Yeah. What you do in Cyberpunk compared to what you do in GTA, you can't do. Just like you can't do some things that you do in Cyberpunk and GTA, you can't do some of the things that you do in GTA and Cyberpunk.
And GTA is also 7 fucking years old. So when everybody's like GTA is better, yeah, Cyberpunk's been out for less than a month. It's been what's today's date? The 24th. It's been out 14 days.
How do you not know what today's date was?
Stop sucking Cyberpunk's dick.
You mean Cyberpunk's dick? You mean GTA's dick?
No, I meant Cyberpunk. Everybody just wants a reason to complain about him.
Yeah, but how you sucking on his dick if you glorifying GTA? Whenever you be sucking the other person's dick?
Sometimes when people are talking shit to you, you tell them get off your dick. So to all the people talking shit about Cyberpunk, get off their dick. Get off of CD Project Red's dick. They did the best that they could. Y'all rushed them to release this game, and then they told y'all, hey, I don't think it's ready.
Well, also, you have to remember, too, they kept giving release dates of when they thought the game was supposed to come out.
And then, and then they realized that it wasn't ready to be put out, so they pushed it back another month, and everybody was like, it better not get pushed back again. And they was like, we kind of need to, but since this is how y'all want the game, since y'all want it exactly like this, here you go.
And also, you have to put into consideration how long they've been working on the game.
How long they've been working on the game system, I get that, but like, they were doing something that no other game has accomplished.
Yeah, but then look at, like, Pyro, though. They did it, and they only pushed the date back once. And that was 3 games in 1.
Yeah, but they took games that were already done and just remastered them. They didn't build something from the ground up with that.
Yeah, but also, like...
You're talking about building something based off of a tabletop game.
Yeah, but I get that. But, like, you're also talking about, like, think about how long they've been talking about making this game.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me in all that time that you were, like, hyping up this game, right? Supposedly claiming his release date. You're telling me that you couldn't figure out how to have this game ready or like wait to come out with a release date when you were making this game where you felt it was gonna be like to the supposed gamer standard.
I'm sure they could have released it. And I think what really,
because that's
what flipped it on its head, I think, was the releasing of the new gen consoles, because then it took their focus off of current gen. Because they usually wait until, I don't want to say the last second to optimize the game for whatever consoles are out. They kind of wait until the last second to do it. Right, and this year was the year that they were supposed to have completely optimized it for all the platforms it was supposed to come out for, and then in the middle of the year, 2 weeks before the release date, they're like, hey, we're dropping these new consoles. You know what I mean? And we knew the consoles were dropping this year, but Sony and Microsoft were both like not giving any information about the stuff.
That was my phone. Weird.
And they weren't giving information about it, and then they just hit everybody with a curveball.
Yeah, but also some people who play Cyberpunk, right, that might have had complaints, right, they also, right, if that was the case, then you shouldn't have bothered making it for a current gen then. That's what somebody was saying. Like, you shouldn't even have bothered when
for the base versions of the current gen.
Because realistically,
because that's where most of the problems lie.
Because realistically, like some people were saying, if you were gonna do that, right, or you're gonna focus on the new gen that was coming out, right, and the game was gonna be perfect for that, why give us a version for the people who haven't gotten a new gen or whatever the case is, that they can't do anything with, or it's crashing, or they're having this issue or that issue? You'd have been better off making like what some people do, having 2 separate versions, one for the older generation and then one for the newer generation that might be a little bit different, but it's the same fucking game. They would have been better off doing that shit. Granted, they might have had to push the release date for the new gen, right? Mm-hmm. But at least they wouldn't have all these fucking complaints that they have for the people who are trying to play it on the current.
They could have had a fully optimized game, but I think it just kind of threw a curveball in the production because then they optimized it. It wasn't perfect for like the PS4 Pro.
But they also when they originally were coming out with the game, right? Forget about the current gen, right? When they originally were coming out with the game was originally supposed to come out for the gen that was out at the time, right? There was no conversation of the new gen just yet, right?
And then a console year happened. When they announced the game, they knew it wasn't going to be an immediate release. They knew within the next few years it was going to be a release.
So the thing was, since they had already had the mindset of coming out with it for the current gen, that's what they should have made well enough for people who just had that form of the system for them to be able to enjoy it as well. You shouldn't have to, like somebody was saying, you shouldn't have to get the new gen to enjoy the game.
Yeah. But I think it plays a part in trying to make it so that it works well on the new gen. Like, I think their primary focus was new gen and then optimizing for...
Yeah, but you're missing the point. The point is when they came out with the possible release date, right? When people knew that the game was supposed to be coming out, right? Mm-hmm. There was no date yet, but like when the game was supposed to be for the current gen at the time.
Which was the 360 and the PS3.
No, not that one. I'm talking about for PS4 and Xbox One. For that one, right? Mm-hmm. When they were coming out with it for then, right? I didn't even know they were supposed to come out with it. 2013,
Xbox and PlayStation.
No, not that far back.
That's when they first announced it.
No, I'm talking about for the people who have PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay.
So when they were coming out with it for then, that was their goal for that form of the game system. So the fact that they didn't want to perfect it for that current game system, and they threw it to the wayside, and they were like all about the new gen. The thing is like, where does that leave the people who wanted to play the game, pre-ordered the game, but they can't enjoy the game because you fucked up?
Yeah.
And then also,
but that's why they did what they did and what they issued up refunds, and
it got so bad that like PlayStation took it off the fucking PlayStation Store.
Microsoft was like, "Yo, we'll actually give refunds," and that's crazy because Microsoft is very fucked up when it comes to refunds. That Microsoft customer service, they do not play. You have to have a really, really fucking genuine reason to refund your game.
That's why I hate Microsoft.
Yeah, like you could be like, my kid just spent $1,500 on fucking Minecraft shit, and they'd be like, well, I guess you just out of $1,500. Like,
no, but I'm saying like it got so bad with the complaints for Cyberpunk that the PlayStation Store, they took it off. Like for anybody who tried to get a digital download of it, they took it off, and then supposedly they're supposed to refund money. I didn't know anything about Microsoft because what?
Mm-hmm.
What? Fuck that big ass controller.
Mm-hmm.
Sony for life.
We'll see if you still have those struggles on zombies when you finally play.
At least I can fucking hold the controller. Hey, don't judge me. I grew up with my brothers playing on PlayStation. As far as I'm concerned, the only two consoles that was the OG consoles was Nintendo and PlayStation. Xbox was like the fucking third cousin removed out of nowhere, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So, boom.
Really? Anyway,
don't act like PlayStation don't be coming out with good ass games. How many one single player games have they come out with that people are like, oh my god,
plenty.
Oh my god, this is beautiful and shit.
Funny.
You feel like you could see they fucking wrinkle.
I got some on mine right there. So, plenty. I know.
And he don't even be playing with me on PlayStation and shit. He got me as a friend, but he be on Xbox with his boys and shit. Forget about me, right?
You don't play nowhere near as much though.
Yeah, but I've been playing more now.
No,
we got
Call of Duty together.
No, I've been playing more since I got Cyberpunk. I haven't played Cyberpunk in a couple days, but like I've been playing more since I got Cyberpunk.
Proud of you. But anyway, got anything else to add? Really?
No, we're actually like a little bit over an hour.
Way over, yeah.
I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. I know the holidays haven't been planned, but please stop comparing two games that are separate. I know Cyberpunk has some work to do as far as like the game itself, but it's not a bad game either.
GTA is an open world,
yeah, but also
online RPG, and Cyberpunk is an online is an offline. Currently, they said they're adding an online version of it. Wow. But RPG, like, it's an in-depth, fully customizable tabletop RPG.
Yeah, but you also have to put in consideration, like, in
two different styles.
In GTA, you could just be on the street and shoot somebody and run them over, and it's fine. In Cyberpunk, you do that, it's a problem.
Cyberpunk, you think about fucking with somebody, and they're like, "What you say?"
No. And
cops teleport behind you and shit.
No, remember remember when you told me about that? And then I told you I accidentally did that when the first time I was trying to do something for the character I made. And I was like, oh, he wasn't lying. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't even in, like, Night City yet.
Yeah.
I was still... Yeah, I was still, like... I guess was that considered, like, a small town or whatever?
Yeah, it's the outskirts of the city.
I wasn't even in the city yet. I ran over this little stand thing. I don't even remember if I ran over a person. All I know is everybody and their mama had a gun. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, they wasn't lying. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. And I had to do that whole part all over again. Mm-hmm. So you could do that in GTA. You could just shoot somebody, run them over, and keep it moving. Yeah. In Cyberpunk, you cannot do that. I do not recommend that. If you're trying to die, then I guess, but I do not recommend it at all.
Yeah,
it is not. Yo, when I tell you everybody and their mama come out with a gun, everybody and their mama come out with a gun.
Mm-hmm. But have fun with it. It's a fun game when you can get past some of the bugs and the glitches. Like, I haven't played since it crashed on me. Couple days ago, I did a boss fight, and I...
Oh, and actually, I have a fun little thing.
Okay.
My bad. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, if somebody wants to make a character that looks like my ex, have fun with that. You can DM me, and I can give you a little description of what he looks like, and then you can send me a picture, because you probably could make his character.
Yeah, there's a lot of dope customizations out there.
And you can make him with a vagina, since he has titties anyway, so. DM me, Snapchat me. Hit me up on Twitter, whatever you want to do.
Anyway.
You can send me.
Thank y'all for listening.
I hope you have a good holiday. Like I said before, I know this holiday hasn't really gone as planned, but oddly enough, this holiday did not go as planned. Like I wanted it to go with everything going on in 2020, but for some odd reason, things happened to just work out.
Yeah.
Which was weird, but I guess that was like a sign that there's always a silver lining to everything. So, try to look at life like that. I know it's easier said than done, because I know from personal experience, you can say look at something with a silver lining, but if things aren't going your way, it's very easy to, be upset about something or see the negative of it. Absolutely. But like I said, enjoy your holiday. I hope you guys have a happy new year, right? Yeah, by the time we come back, possibly to our next podcast,
it'll be New Year's.
It'll be 2021, so maybe I'll be rich by then. I'll keep you posted.
We can hope.
I'm gonna be rich, but he's not part of my money.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
I thought I took good care of you.
Yeah, that money's gonna go to Arta Bunny Foundation. Okay. I'm gonna do like Marilyn Monroe, give all my money to foundations to help people. So it'll be 2021. So I hope you guys have a happy new year. I hope you guys enjoy the fact that we did do another podcast this week. We didn't quite do it on the day that I thought we were going to do it, but at least we kept up our promise. Anything else you want to add? Oh, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. You can reach out to us on our social media. Like I said, if you want to make a cyberpunk character like my ex, then likely, and I'll give you a full-fledged description of what he looked like. And you can send me a picture. And if you send me a picture, I might give you a free haircut. Maybe I'll maybe I'll make you a friend on social media.
Whatever. Bye.
Bye.